Hi, and welcome to pmplounge.com. Today we are going over the elements of the project charter. So, we have covered project charter earlier as well here on PMP Lounge, and we have basically covered what is a project charter. We have covered some of the basics that you must know about the project charter. And today we are kind of covering the certain elements that each project charter has. So project charter, of course, is a document, and these are the items that you will find in almost every single project charter out there. So let's get started. First up, as always, why is this important? Well, the chances are that you might work on preparing a project charter. So if you're a project manager, or if you aim to be one, and you're obviously doing your PMP, a PMP certified project manager is expected to be involved in writing the project charter. So if your organization wants you to, if your department wants you to write a project charter, you should know what actually goes in it, right? So that you can be helpful with your team to write it up. So, if you're a project manager, like I said, chances are that you might be preparing one. But then you're watching this video because you want to clear your PMP exam. So, of course, this is also going to help you in your PMP exam because there could be certain questions wherein you might be asked to differentiate between a project management plan and a project charter. So, it's possible that you might not be asked that explicitly, but there could be a certain question which talks about a certain concept, let's say the project schedule, a detailed project schedule, and it asks you where would you find a detailed project schedule. One of the option is the project charter, the other option is a project management plan. Where would you find it? So to differentiate between the project charter and project management plan, to be able to answer that question, you should basically have the understanding of what differentiates a project charter from a project management plan. So this watching this video is obviously going to help you develop the understanding to be able to differentiate between the two. And above all, this is going to create a deeper understanding of the subject, which is always our aim here at PMP Lounge, to be able to provide you real life examples, to be able to provide you deeper knowledge, and to be able to give you the materials which will help you create a deeper understanding of the project management ocean. All right. So the first thing that goes in the project charter is the project description, which is basically a very high level purpose of the project. So the high level goals, the aim of the project, the high level, not the detailed one, the high level is what is basically that goes into the project description. So we are not talking about the intricacies of the solution here. We're not talking about the solutioning here. So if let's say a project is, let's say you are a project manager and the project is to basically construct a 50 floor building, the project charter will simply mention that this project aims to construct a 50 floor building. It is not going to be talking about the solutioning. It is not going to mention what kind of, let's say, mortar you're going to use, what kind of machinery you would need, what kind of resources you would need. So it is a very high level description of the project. It doesn't talk about the intricacies of the solutioning, basically. All right, moving on. The second is the project requirement. So again, this is again a very high level requirements. This is not, getting into the solutioning. This is not getting into the complexity involved in achieving the project. So it is a very high level product or the service that the project aims to deliver. So the project aims to deliver a 50-story building. That's it. That is one of the requirements. Again, high level requirement could also mean that the client wants to have at least 10 lifts in the building, right? So that is again another high level requirement of the project. So this also include anything that you may know about the product or the service that the customer, sponsor, or other stakeholders are expecting to achieve from the project. So like I mentioned, 50-story building is the project. You also know from the client that they want to have 10 lifts, at least 10 lifts in that building. So that goes in the project requirements. That does not go into the project description, it goes into the project requirements. So the high level requirements that you have from the customer, the sponsor, other stakeholders, all of them go in the project requirements section of the project charter. By the way, if you are lost by now, we are talking about the project charter document and we are discussing the elements of that project charter document. So this is the same project charter document. The first thing you would see in that document is the project description. The second thing you're seeing in that document is project requirements. Of course, different organizations will have different ways of creating project charter, but like I said, these elements that we are discussing here are almost common across all industries, across all project charters. All right, moving on to number 3, which is assigned project manager. So we have read about project charter earlier as well. We have made videos on project charter here at PMP Lounge, and I'll link to them in the description if you haven't checked them out yet. But we know that project charter authorizes the project manager. So what does that mean? Well, that means there is a section in the project charter which mentions the assigned project manager, the name of the project manager, or it is also possible that the organization, the team, or the department which will be responsible for project management or assigning a project manager is named in the project charter. So project charter clearly either has your name or the name of your department or your organization or your team, and that is what basically authorizing a project manager means. So when we say that the project charter authorizes a project manager, we are talking about this section of the project charter which talks about the assigned project manager. And wait, that's not it as well, because a project charter may also define the specific level of authority or decision making power that the project manager will have during the course of the project. So this again a very high level of description of the kind of authority you can expect in the project. So let's talk about our 50-story building construction project. It may say that the project manager has the authority to spend 10 US dollars without requiring anyone's consultation or approval. So that is a kind of authority that project manager might have. And it's not just about making expenses. It could be about anything else, right? The project manager might have the authority to hire up to 20 resources, to fire up to 10 resources without being answerable to anyone. So those are the kind of the authorities that a project manager might enjoy, and certain project charters are very explicit in easily and clearly pointing them out as well. A schedule summary is the next thing in our list, and this of course is the high level schedule, and it may not always indicate a specific date. So in our 50-story construction building project, it is quite possible that the project charter does not have a specific date by when the construction should be complete, or by when the procurement should be done, or by when the plan for the building should be ready. It's quite possible that the project charter doesn't have those exact dates. By 15th of July the procurement should be complete. It's possible that project charter does not have that kind of date, but at the same time, the project charter may mention these dates in terms of months or quarters. So instead of 15th of July 2017, the project charter might say July 2017 is when the it is expected that the procurement would complete, or it may also say somewhere in third quarter of 2017 is when the procurement is expected to complete. So that is possible. It is possible that the project charter doesn't have specific dates, but again, project charter might have specific dates as well. Okay, so don't be surprised if you get a project charter which has specific dates about everything and not the high level, month or the quarter dates. Most of the project charters, although, will almost always have a go live date, a specific go live date. So your 50-story construction of the building project may have a specific go live date of, let's say, 1st of August 2018. So that is a specific date where the customer, the client, the important stakeholders want you to complete your project. So it is quite possible that the project charter may not have specific dates for every milestone, but again, it is most likely that a specific date will almost always be available for when the people, when I say people, I mean the stakeholders, the client, the customer, the sponsor, they expect you to complete the project. All right. Moving on to number five, which is the business case, and this is the last thing that we are covering in this video. So, what exactly is a business case? Business case is basically the reason why the company has decided to pursue the project. So, at a very high level, not detailed, it doesn't go into detail. Like I said, I'm using the word high level in everything that we have discussed here. That's because a project charter in itself is a very high level document. The intent of the project charter is that throughout the course of the project, if something changes, if the requirements change, if you are going to be painting the walls, the internal walls of the building from, let's say, gray to white, your project management plan might change, but your project charter essentially remains the same. So, the intent of the project charter is that throughout the course of the project, the project charter will remain the same. The project charter doesn't change, and that is why the all that you see in the project charter are very high level details of the project. Very high level. They are not going into the low level details, the most detailed description of everything that is not available in the project charter. Everything is very high level. So when we talk about business case, it is a very high level description of why the company is has decided to pursue this project, why the company is actually doing this project, a high level description of that. And you may ask, okay, so why exactly is the company building a 50-story building? So that is because you can see the terms like return on investment, ROI, the key performance indicators, KPI, etc., which will help the stakeholders, the client, the sponsors to be able to make their decision of spending the money required for construction of the 50-story building. So, let's say in your 50-story building construction project, the business case might include that this is going to be a residential building, and this is going to be the tallest residential building in the city. And since this is one of the prime locations, they expect to sell all the units in the building by in the next 1 year, and then the ROI is, let's say, 25%. So they expect to, if they are going to spend, let's say, 1 million US dollars, they expect to earn 1.25 million dollars from this project. So that is the ROI. So those are the kind of details, again, a high level detail that you can see in the project charter, and that is going to help the sponsor, the stakeholders, or anyone who is reading the project charter understand why exactly the company has decided to pursue this project. And that's all that we had. Hope you liked this video about the elements that go into the project charter. If you like this video, do hit the like button. You can join us on our social media, facebook.com/PMP Lounge and twitter.com/PMP Lounge for the latest updates that we timely put out. You will not loosen them. Of course, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel to make sure you don't miss any of our videos. As always, check out the website pmplounge.com for the latest and the best free articles on project management available out there. Thank you.